Good morning, everybody. It's 15 minutes after 8 on the East Coast and delighted to see all of you. We are recording this on the 6th of April. And how many of you, by a show of hands, are simply astounded that Brian is with us this morning this way? He's here. Oh my gosh. I mean, beyond. So, everybody on your notes, please write down a champion does what has to be done. A champion does what has to be done when it has to be done, whether they feel like it or not. A champion does what has to be done when it has to be done, whether they feel like it or not. How many of you would agree with me that there are days all of us don't feel like putting out an extra effort? We don't feel like having a great spirit. We don't feel like cheering other people up, but we have a choice. Do I want to be average or do I want to be a champion? And I find it's much more fulfilling to make the extra effort and to be a champion. And you know what I find? Even if I'm depressed and I fake it till I make it, and I smile and make somebody else smile, it eventually makes me feel better. Who would agree? Makes me feel better. So please write down, I get much more back than what I give. You know, if I give warmly with a full heart, I get much more back, and that's not the purpose we do it, but that's the law of the universe. And so the way we're going to do these sessions, and I'm so excited about the next couple of months because I know some great things are about to happen at Goosetown, and some great things are about to happen for the person sitting in your chair. So if you'll simply follow a few simple instructions, some amazing things are about to happen in the next 2 months. So these are not lectures, we're just discussing things. So if you want to talk to me, just talk. If you just say my name, I'll stop instantly. Boaz? Yeah, what? What? Just talk to me, please. If you disagree about something, let me know. Let me know. This is a discussion, not a lecture. And for those of you who may be wondering, was Boaz in a fight since we saw him last time? No, I had some slight surgery right there. So you can see, like the NFL players, I should have made those lines dark. It would have looked like I'm trying out for the NFL. But no pain at all, hardly nothing compared to what Brian has gone through. But anyway, we just move on. So how many of you are ready to take your life to a whole new level? Wouldn't it be exciting in 2 months if we could take your life to a whole new level and do some things you never thought you could do? Well, that's exactly what we're going to do. And the whole program encompasses just 5 simple steps. So write down, please, these 5 things that I'm suggesting you do every day, and they won't take very long, not hardly any amount of time. The first is affirmations. We talked about this before. We're going to declare positive affirmations, and I'll talk about that, the goals card, a little more in a moment. Declare your affirmations. This is the only step you do twice a day. The first thing in the morning and the last thing each night. Those are the 2 times your subconscious is most open to suggestion, when you first wake up and just before you fall asleep. So we're going to do affirmations every day. And then how many of you have had a chance to start listening to the daily audio messages? Anybody had a chance to start listening to them? Okay, let's get a couple of comments. Dave and Larry. Dave, what do you think about the messages? Is it a simple process?
Yeah, very simple process, very positive, uplifting. It's a good way to start a day.
Yeah, Larry, what do
I
you
agree.
find?
I agree with what Dave said. It's very easy. It makes you start thinking about stuff going through the day too.
Exactly. Larry is so right. The difference between average and greatness is just paying a little more attention. Is that what we're saying, Larry? Just a little more attention. Yep. Most people just go about their day. Well, I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to do this. Wait a minute. What opportunities did I lose by being so rushed? So please write down, I will speed up by slowing down. I will speed up by slowing down. I find that I can actually do a whole lot more when I take life in slow motion. I used to be a network television producer, and we used to have machines called slow motion. It was created for Monday Night Football many, many years ago. A director wanted to see that last play a little more slowly, and so they figured out, wait a minute, what if we could make our recording machines run a little slower? And so they developed the slow motion video recorders. So what if we took our life and just use a little bit of that throughout the day to slow down and say, wait a minute, what am I missing? So the audio messages, I cannot overemphasize how much that will have an impact on your life. And a lot of people don't even pay attention, but their subconscious is hearing every word I'm saying. And people write to me, Brian, it's amazing. They write to me and say, Boaz, I wasn't even paying attention this morning, but I found out I was doing what you said in the afternoon. So this works automatically. So don't worry if you're not paying attention. Your subconscious is hearing everything. And if you have not listened up to now, start listening today to today's message. And then tomorrow, only one message a day, according to the day of the month. So we have affirmations, the audio messages, the reading, even one page a day, in How to Win Friends and Influence People would change your life. You see, if you told me to read 3 chapters, I might do that one day, but I'll put it down for 3 weeks. But 1 page a day, I could do that. I could read 1 page a day. And by the way, this is also a great way to shift your mood. If during the day you get upset about something, somebody wasn't nice to you, something didn't work out, go in your office, open any page in this book and read 1 page. 1 page. That's what we call an antidote. See, if you and I were hiking in the desert and I got bitten by a poisonous snake, wouldn't we want the antidote? Quickly, I could die. Well, people get poisonous information and thoughts into their mind. We need to have antidotes. So reading a page in this when you're in a bad mood will shift your gears. So the affirmations, the audio messages, the reading, and then I have something I call the Fortune Fund. Please write that term down, the Fortune Fund. Get an envelope and label it My Fortune Fund, My Fortune Fund, and put paper money into it every day, even if it's $1. Paper money, that's real to the subconscious mind. Credit cards, that's monopoly. That's a whole different game. That's not real to the subconscious mind. But put $1 in it every day in the envelope. And when you have enough in the envelope to open a savings account, not for mad money or vacations. This is your permanent fortune fund. And when you put the $1 in there, just say, I'm richer today than I was yesterday, but not as rich as I'll be tomorrow. Again, the subconscious doesn't say it was only $1. It says we are richer. So please write down, a part of all I earn is mine to keep. A part of all I earn is mine to keep. You know, how come we hear about a little old librarian in Vermont who retired after 40 years? She never made a whole lot of money each year, but she has $500,000 in the bank. How did she do that? Well, she kept some of it. Who would agree with me? We all go through a lot of money in our lifetime. We all go through a lot of money. It doesn't matter how much we're making, we all go through a lot of money. I suggest we stop some of it and keep it. Keep some of what you earn. A part of all you earn is yours to keep. And when you work on a monthly budget, which I would strongly recommend at home with your expenses, your number one item on that budget should be your fortune fund. So get an envelope and just put $1 in it every day. And then put some 20s around the house, on the end table, by the bed, on the counter of the bathroom, on the counter of the kitchen. And if you have teenagers, tape it down real good. Please write down, whatever I focus on expands. Whatever I focus on expands. So during the next 2 months, we're going to focus on a few simple things that are going to expand and bring opportunities your way and lead you to things that you never thought were possible because we never stopped and let them happen. So we're about to let some magic happen. And so we've got the affirmations, the audio messages, 1 page a day in the readings, $1 in an envelope every day. Oh, one other thing. I suggest as soon as possible, get a $100 bill. Put it in your wallet where you can see it. Don't fold it up. I want you to see it every time you go in there. Or ladies, in your purse, get a $100 bill. It'll make you feel prosperous. Only about 2% of the people in this world carry a $100 bill. Usually they're doing very well. Why? Because their mind says, we are prosperous. Money. Let's go get some more of it. The Fortune Fund, and then the handwritten note cards. I just want to suggest 1 line on a handwritten note card. If you took 1 minute a day, and I'm not going to ask you to report on doing 5 a week. I'm going to ask you, who did you send a card to? Next time when we're together in 2 weeks, one card in 2 weeks. But if you want to really supercharge this, how about spending 1 minute a day sending a handwritten note card to anybody? You can send it to a friend, a client, a past client, a future client, or a coworker. One of my other client companies, Brian, in the Northeast, one of their top salespeople is a top salesperson because ever since we started coaching several months ago, he sends out one card a day, every day. He said it takes me less than a minute. And his sales have doubled in the last couple of months. Any surprise? I don't know. But he sends out one card a day, just 1 minute. So if you just do these 5 things, let's look at the amount of time. How long would it take me to read my affirmations? Oh, about 30 seconds or so. The audio message, you've already gotten the feeling. That's 2 minutes, not much. Okay. How long would it take me to read 1 page in this book? I don't know, 3-4 minutes, whatever. Putting $1 in the fortune fund, 30 seconds. And writing 1 card to anybody, a minute or 2. We're talking what, 10, 15 minutes? How many of you would agree by a show of hands that if I could truly make a difference in your life and in your income, you'd be willing to invest 15 minutes a day for the next couple of months? Would you be willing to spend 15 minutes, just 15 minutes, and watch what happens? Watch what happens. Any questions about this? Those are the elements. There's no more than that. And so let's talk about this, because the next time I see you, I'd like you to show me your card, your goals card. Remember we talked about this before, where you type out some affirmations on one side and get a picture of a reward that you would give yourself. A reward that you would give yourself, let's say, at the end of May. We're going to do a 60-day experiment here, okay? So this would be a goal you would do on June 1, something that might cost a couple of $100 when you accomplish some of your goals. So here are the affirmations. I'm going to give you some. You can choose others. And I don't know if I gave you my email address the other day, but let me give it to you now, because I'm available to help you write your personal affirmations. And it's all confidential. I'll write it for you, send it right back. BoazPower@AOL.com. B as in boy, O-A-Z as in zebra, Boaz Power, like the power company, BoazPower@AOL.com. And if you want to change something, Boaz, how do I write an affirmation to lose weight, to exercise more? I'll write it for you, okay? Because we want to get this done right away. The faster you get this done, the more money you're going to attract into your life. And by the way, how many of you would like to actually attract more money into your life? Who would like to attract more money, like a magnet? Would you like to do that? Okay, so I'm going to divert for a moment, but I believe you'll find this to be a highly beneficial experience. I'm going to make money magnets of all of you. Yep, I'm going to make money magnets of all of you. And so what I'm going to do in a moment is ask you to put your right hand out in front of you, palm up, and we're going to do the exercise, and you will feel it. I guarantee it. Right through the screen, you're going to feel this. I guarantee it. So everybody who wants to attract money, put your right hand in front of you, palm up, palm up. Okay, if you want to attract more money, both hands in front of you, both hands in front of you. Okay, good. I like people who want money, because we can't do good things without some money. Okay, in a moment, I'm going to make you a money magnet. And for those of you who think this is silly, that's fine. I think being short of money is silly. Okay, so work with me on this. Okay, just humor me. It makes me feel better. Okay, so let's put our hands in front of you, palms up. And the official exercise is going to be a bzzz. So please unmute yourself. I want to hear everybody doing the exercise, because you're going to feel it. And you're going to change right there. It will work. It will work. All right, so can you just imagine if somebody was walking by and we're in a hotel room, and I'm originally from Israel, you know what people would say? My gosh, that Jewish fellow's converting people again. Okay, so on the count of 3, we're all going to do the official bzzz to become a money magnet. So ready, 1, 2, 3. Bzzz. Excellent. Please write down, I am a money magnet. I am a money magnet. Anybody feel it? I felt it. It was right there. You are now a money magnet. And somebody, by the next time we get together, is going to report getting some money from an unexpected direction. Had somebody just a week or 2 ago in one of my seminars, as she did the exercise, I could see on her face she didn't really believe it. She wrote to me 3 days later. A neighbor came over, they'd gotten some money for something, and she was moved to give her some. She gave her $500 out of nowhere. You don't think it works? She didn't, but it worked. It worked. So you are officially a money magnet. So the affirmations, please write down. I think we mentioned it the other day. Everything I touch prospers and succeeds. Everything I touch prospers and succeeds. And then you can follow that with anything you want to change. If you want to be in great health, exercise regularly, then you write down, I eat healthy and enjoy exercising regularly. I eat healthy and enjoy exercising regularly. If you truly want to be a money magnet, write that down. I am a money magnet. I am a money magnet. And if you're concerned about the current situation with the virus and so forth, just write down, I am healthy. My family is healthy. My team members are healthy. Our clients are healthy. We are strong. I am healthy. My family is healthy. My team members are healthy. Our clients are healthy. We are strong. Another great affirmation. I have a great positive attitude every day. I have a great positive attitude every day. And if you want to be a better husband, wife, father, mother, brother, sister, just write it down. I'm a great husband. I'm a great father. Declare what you want as if it's written in stone, because your subconscious is hearing every word as an order. And if you want to earn a certain amount of money, I earn at least so much money per month, but put it where you can believe it. So in your notes, please write down, I'll set goals that I see. There's people who set goals, set them too high and don't achieve them and they get upset. So let's set some goals that you can achieve. And in my case, my reward is I'm going back to this island off of Belize where I was flown to speak a few years ago, Key Chapel. So I got a picture of it on the internet. And then on the other side, it says, I'm going to Key Chapel and I am excited. So you want to note the reward and an emotion, the reward and an emotion. And we're going to peg these to the end of May. So the goal is by May 31 to have achieved these changes in your life. So the basic format for each week, I'm going to ask you next time to show me the card. So please type out your affirmations. I'll help you between now and the next time we get together. Okay, get a picture of your next reward, laminate it back to back, and declare it first thing in the morning, last thing at night. The only time you wouldn't want to leave this on the bedstand is if I say I'm a good husband and I leave it on the bedstand, and let's say I were married and my wife would see it and say, well, you weren't the other day. So you wouldn't leave that out. You would just memorize it, go to the bathroom first thing in the morning, last thing at night, just declare your affirmations. So the basic concept of our meetings, I'm going to ask each one of you to tell me something good that's happened in the last week at work. I'm going to ask you who you sent a note card to. So if you haven't started yet, please just tell me today that you'll commit to sending one in the next week. And then I'll ask you to tell me one thing you got out of chapter 1 in How to Win Friends and Influence People. Do all of you have the book in front of you or close by? Did everybody have the book? Everybody have the book? Okay. So if you've not had a chance to read until I get to you, open any page in page 1, any page in chapter 1. Just open up any page and read a line for me out of the page. Okay. We'll make it very simple for people. So Brian, let's begin with you. You're an amazing miracle. Something good in the last week in your life. And then we'll go to Todd.
Yep. Okay, something good. For me, I was able to set my rocks for the second quarter, meaningful rocks that I'm looking forward to accomplishing and achieving to help our company grow.
And certainly you must have had some wonderful people taking care of you the other day with surgery and all of that. Am I right?
Absolutely. Great friendship and family, and even all my team members here. Very supportive. Thank you all.
Absolutely. And have you had a chance to send a card to anybody in the last week or two?
I haven't, but I have someone in mind that I'm going to send a card to this week.
Fine. So you'll commit to sending one. Excellent. And again, one line on a handwritten note card, everybody, is more touching to me than 2 paragraphs in an email. So if you get a conversation with somebody, send a note. Brian, enjoyed our phone conversation Tuesday. Boaz. That's it. No phone number inside the card. You may recall if I mentioned it the other day. If I didn't, I'll go over it again. Business card goes behind the card in the envelope, behind the card. I want it to just fall out. The card is one line only, first names only. Your business card is behind the card, no return address. I just picked this up at CVS or Walgreens. Get a box of 20. You don't want to use note cards with the Goosetown logo because they'll think you have a bunch of those. Go get some blank note cards. They'll think you picked it up for them. Okay? No return address. I want to force people to open up your cards immediately. And if you're sending it to an executive somewhere, put the word personal down here, personal, and it'll go right past all the secretaries. And then if you really want to ensure that people open up your cards, never metered, and don't use one stamp. Stop by the post office. This will be worth money in your bank, I guarantee it. Get a bunch of different denominations, 2 cents, 5 cents, 10 cents. Put 11 stamps on your card that equal the postage. Everybody will open that up, I guarantee it. Guarantee it. And so, Brian, did you have a chance to read anything in chapter 1 of Carnegie?
I did. I read the first chapter, and I was taken by the idea of not criticizing, condemning, or complaining, and the impact of that approach.
Yeah, he says, you want to put the nails in the coffin of any relationship, then go ahead, criticize, condemn, or complain. The 3 C's is what he called them. Simply amazing. And so let's go to Todd, and then we'll go to Stephen. Todd, what's one good thing at work in the past week?
We finished a pretty large project in Plainville, and we're starting a new one in Southington, and we're already starting staging in the back room here. So that's going very well.
Great. Anybody on this call help you with that?
No, the technicians were working on that.
Okay. All right. All right. And by the way, you want to get your technicians to operate at a way above level, send them a handwritten note card home. Thank you for your help with the project the other day. Who understands the value of that? It's huge. It's huge. You bought a card, you bought these stamps for me, you mailed the card home. How much goodwill have you just bought with me? About $1 million worth. Simply amazing. And did you have a chance to send any cards, or will you commit to one this week?
Yeah, I'll commit to one this week and send one out for sure.
Okay. Did you have a chance to read in chapter 1 of Carnegie?
I did. It was good to reread the book, and I read it last night. And I just am struck by Lincoln's example with he would write letters, and he would either crumple them up or never send them after, and it just kind of got things out of his system, and it helped him to be better.
Absolutely. They found a bunch of letters of his that were never mailed because he got in trouble when he was in Illinois. As a young man, he would criticize people. So he wrote a letter criticizing a town official and dropped it on the road so somebody would pick it up. Somebody did pick it up. The man was so irate, he challenged Lincoln to a duel, and had their seconds not stopped them at the last minute, we would have never had one of our best presidents because he criticized. And he vowed right then he was not going to do it, just not going to do it. Okay, Stephen, and then Larry. Stephen, something good that's happened in the past week?
I made a really good relationship with a new customer and closed a sale. So,
Do you think it might be worth taking a minute to send him a card?
oh yeah, that's the person I'm going to send one to for sure.
Excellent, love it. And what do you think about the chapter 1 of the Carnegie book?
I didn't start it yet. I've read it before, and I need to reread it. But something I remember from it before was whenever you talk to someone on the phone, to smile while you do it. And I've applied that to my life since I read the book a long time ago, and it really does change the tone of the whole conversation and the direction of it. So I try to do that every time, especially when I'm mad.
Absolutely. Stephen, you're so right. Everybody, please write down, smiling makes me money. Smile, doesn't it, Stephen? Smiling makes me money. When I was in radio, when I was in college, we had a sign in the control room that said, smile. They can hear your smile. They can hear it. Absolutely. Larry, and then Patrick. Larry, what's something good in the past week at work?
We're real close to being basically a go-to subcontractor for a construction company, which is going to be good for us. So
I love it. And will you commit to sending one note card in the next week?
I will send a note card next week. And what I took out of, it says to give honest and sincere appreciation. We try to do that all the time anyway, but it just reaffirmed that what I'm doing, I think, is right. So
Absolutely. You're so right, Larry. Everybody, please write down. Resentment closes the universe down. Resentment closes the universe down. Appreciation opens it up. Resentment closes the universe down. Appreciation opens it up. And by the way, on the note cards, if your handwriting is not real legible, may I suggest 2 words: slow down. Slow down. How long does it take to write one sentence so somebody can read it? It's especially meaningful because they know it's from your handwriting, it's from your heart. Patrick, and then Sergio. Patrick, something good that happened last week.
So we had completed our external review with the accountants, and we got the report on the due date. We were able to send it to our bank on time, so I was pleased about that.
Wonderful.
As far as, I did send out a note to somebody. It was actually the funeral director who handled my father and my brother's funeral, and I learned that his mother had passed away. So I wrote him a note thanking him for all his kindnesses to my family. And
Absolutely. And may I encourage you all as the leaders in this company, somebody within the company helps you with something, mail them a handwritten note. If you have an address at home, mail it at home, better than inter-office mail. I've seen this happen with other clients, and oh my gosh, people are just astounded. You know, I got a note from Larry the other day thanking me for doing this. Who understands the value of that bonding experience? It's huge. It's just huge. And I'm telling you, the majority of companies will not do the type of things we're doing. And that's why they're going to wonder about you all. Please write down, we are the ones the competition worry about. We are the ones the competition worry about. I want to sell you on that point. You know, often we're thinking, well, we're worried about so-and-so because they're our biggest competitor. No, no, no. I want them to worry about you all. And by doing all of this, they will. Absolutely. How come those people in Goosetown got that deal? I don't know. Some people are just lucky, I guess. Sergio and then Timothy. Sergio, tell me something good that's happened last week.
Sure. We were able to overcome a major technological hurdle with a new product offering and got that going.
Wonderful. And will you commit to sending one note card in the next week to anybody?
Yes, I will. Yep.
Yeah. Look, just have the note cards on your desk. The variety of stamps on your desk, so you're not looking around. Well, if I had the note cards, I would just do. No, have it right there, right there. And as that salesman who doubled his sales told me, he just says, when I sit down, I just write one note to anybody. A nice conversation with somebody, fine. Somebody smile at me, fine. He just sends notes around. It's simply amazing. And what about the reading in the Carnegie book?
So I thought it was strange how everyone preaches, positive reinforcement when you're dealing with animal training and trying to get your dog to learn how to do something. Yeah, don't preach the same thing when it comes to people themselves, but it's really the same principle, both sides.
Yeah. Everybody, please write down. People are creatures of emotion, not logic. They're creatures of emotion, not logic. Of course, it's logical that everybody you deal with should be responsive and bring you more business and all that. No. They're creatures of emotion. So what do we need to do to move their emotions? A handwritten note card is a great way to move somebody's emotions. Timothy and then Keith.
Sure. Something good last week. We've been getting together as a sales team doing pretty good sales training sessions. So it's good to get everybody together.
Wonderful. And will you commit to sending a note card in the next week?
I will.
All right. And what did you like about the reading in the Carnegie book?
Like Stephen, I've already read that, but it was good to revisit it and listen to chapter 1 again. I think I just need to continue to rethink before I criticize.
Yeah. Everybody, please write down. I'll pause a second before I speak. I'll pause a second. Tim, don't you notice the majority of people, and I'm as guilty as anybody, when somebody's talking, we're so eager to talk, we're not even hearing their final words. Am I right? We're not even hearing. I'm just jumping on it. What if we paused for 1/1000th of a second to respond to anybody? You know what will happen? They'll think you're very thoughtful, and you will also have a different tone to your voice. Who would agree with that? Just pause for a second. Just pause for a second and then talk. Please write down success leaves clues. Success leaves clues. And then please write down the clues are in the final words of an answer. They're in the final words, but people are in such a rush, we don't even hear the final words. And the clue was right there. The clue was dropped right in front of me, and I was in such a rush to talk, I wasn't even listening. And I wonder, why did I not get that deal? Because the clues were dropped in front of me and I did not pay attention. So pause for a second and watch for the final words, especially with spouses or kids. It can change your entire family's future. And Keith and then Billy. Keith, what's something good that's happened last week?
Last week we started a big project, I guess, with 200 units for a concrete company, which I know Dave has been pushing for a long time.
Good. And will you commit to sending one note card in the next week?
Yes, I actually was emailing back and forth with one of our vendors who told me yesterday that his grandfather passed away on Easter Sunday over the weekend. So when you brought up the cards, I was like, that's a perfect situation to
Absolutely
reach out.
Absolutely. And Keith, it can be as simple as having a nice phone conversation with somebody. Keith enjoyed our phone conversation Tuesday morning. If I really did, I'm saying it, it's an honest statement, but it's one line. I don't need a big excuse to do this. And something you got out of the chapter of the Carnegie book.
Like Todd was mentioning about Abraham Lincoln and how he wrote the letters. I mean, I'm sure we've all done this where started writing an email and, when you're done with the email, you're like, maybe I shouldn't send that and just delete and just let it go.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Please write down from Carnegie, I'll put myself in their shoes. Isn't that what we're talking about, Keith? If I'm about to write an email that could be abrasive to you, what if I put myself in your shoes? What will Keith think about this? How would Keith feel? If I was him, would I like this tone? I don't think so. Then maybe I should rewrite it. Let's put ourselves in their shoes. And Billy and then Tina. Billy, what's something good that's happened? We can't hear you, Billy.
IT guys having problems with the mute.
See if this works. I don't know if that's going to work.
There we go.
Can you hear me now?
Go ahead.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so I was actually off last week, but that left me nice and recharged walking in this week. And I have not written a card, but I will. And one of the items that popped out was the hard hat example and how just making sure to take a second to think about the tone and the way that you approach a situation, and think about how you're speaking to people and what effect that might have.
Exactly. How will they feel about this? Okay, Tina and then Marie. Is Tina with us? Okay.
Tina did not make the call today, Boaz.
No problem. Okay, I appreciate it. How about Marie and then Jennifer?
So for the book, I think the idea of not allowing someone to breed contempt for you or your instruction, that was one of my favorite parts, along with all of the kind of historical examples like Todd brought up about Lincoln. Like I really enjoyed that and I found it interesting, made it more fun to read. I haven't done a handwritten note yet. I'm still, deciding who I want to send one to. I'm hoping it just comes to me. And this week I scheduled our first vehicle upfitting related work order per a mass email that was sent out by our marketing team. So I feel like that's a good sign of more of that type of work to come.
Absolutely. And Marie, the way you can get ideas about who to write cards to, just think of your day. At the end of each day, just think, who was nice to me today? Who was nice to me today? Was somebody nice to me? Okay, write a card. That's all. It doesn't need to be a big federal case here. So let's look at this for a moment. Because I used to think the same thing, Marie. I've got to have a big reason. No. Somebody was nice to me on the phone, send a card. Somebody called me back in time, send a card. So we have, close to 25 people on these meetings. What if we all send out a card? That's 25 cards a week. That's 100 a month. That's 200 in 2 months. I guarantee to you that all comes back in a big way. Big time. Okay, Jennifer, we'll go with Jennifer C and then Jennifer D. So Jennifer?
Something good that's happened in the company the past week. I'm fairly new here at Goosetown, so meeting the employees and collaborating with them. And I plan on sending a note to a colleague.
Wonderful. What did you think about the chapter?
The one thing I learned that was interesting to me is that criticism is ineffective because it puts the person on the defensive. So, and the studies show that humans are similar to animals. When they're rewarded, they learn much more and they retain the information. So it's all about your delivery and your approach to not only meeting the end goal, but being efficient in doing it.
Absolutely. And if you really want to criticize somebody, you're really upset with somebody, do what Lincoln did. Write them a letter and put it in your drawer, desk drawer. Take it out about 4 or 5 days later. And you'll think, oh, I don't think I'd like this. And it'll probably not mean much. But in the heat of the moment, go ahead and write it down. Be as hateful as you want to. Just put it in a drawer. Okay, Jennifer Durish, and then David.
So the positive thing is that we have 3 large install projects going at one time, and we are making our way through them. The thing I took away from the book is the reminder not to criticize anybody. And I'm sure to write a letter. I haven't picked my person yet.
Okay, but again, don't make it a big deal. If somebody was nice, just send a note. Somebody at work was helpful, just send a note. So we have David and Dave DeJong. So David Gottlieb, and then Joey.
So the book, I like the example of the father criticizing the son. Very impactful for me. My note I haven't written yet, but I know who it's going to. And what was the next one?
Yeah, something good that happened in the past week.
So they've hit on this a couple times.
Yeah.
The installs that we're doing are 2 of the longest cycle sales that we've had. One of them, I think we've been working on for 10 years. So it's very rewarding to see everybody come together and get these things out. And they were on the radios last night until 10 o'clock, I think was the last transmission. So it's awesome that we're getting back into the swing of things.
Yeah. You see, one of the reasons I ask all of you to tell me something good is that too often we get all wrapped up in work and problems and challenges. I think it's important for all of us to hear that something good is happening regularly. Would you all agree? Just hearing, I didn't know that was going on. That's kind of neat. And he's referring to Father Forgets. Anybody get teary-eyed by reading this at the end of chapter 1? Father Forgets. If you haven't read it, please. Oh my goodness. He's just a little boy. That's all he is, just a little boy. Okay, Joey and then Jason. What's something good that's happened, Joey?
So good. We found some new software to replace some software we've been trying to replace in the company for about 4 years, and it seems very promising. I see Todd shaking his head. So
Yeah.
I haven't done a card yet, but I do know who I want to send one to, and I'm going to commit to sending actually 2 next week because I have 2 people that my card is impacted to. And I skimmed through the first chapter because unfortunately I had a tremendous volume of contracts to read this weekend. And
Yeah.
I did like all of the Lincoln stuff and the criticism, not criticizing stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Most people criticize. He says, most fools criticize. Let's not be a fool. Okay, Jason and then George. What's something good, Jason? Is Jason with us? Okay. How about George?
Hello.
Yes.
Good thing that happened was I know David probably started this years ago. If not, I was able to secure a new customer for their car builds in a garage. I have not sent the note, but I know who I'm sending one to. And I haven't read the book. I was too tasked last week when I got it, and it's a new week, so I plan on doing it this week. But one thing that stuck out, which I don't think it's an issue, but I know it can improve, is dealing with people is probably the biggest problem you face. And I think I get along with people for the most part, but always room for improvement.
Absolutely. Everybody, please write down, we are in the people business. Aren't you all first in the people business, George?
Yes, sir.
The products are secondary. First, we're dealing with people. And think about this. Carnegie said in ordinary schooling, there's not a single course on how to get along with people. And where are we spending most of our lives trying to get along with people? This is going to make you a human relations expert. It's amazing. Okay, John P. Pescatori, and then Irene.
Good morning. I guess the good thing that's happened, one of our teammates signed his first dealer contract for one of our products. So that was an excellent job. I haven't sent the letter, but I'm going to send it to a former colleague of mine so I plan to do that in the next week. And, the first chapter sort of reinforced the idea of kind of keeping my emotions in check, and especially in situations where they sometimes take control, whether tempers and those kinds of things. But really the importance of trying to maybe get a point across, or during a difficult situation, is to consider the other person and maybe find a positive way to say something that I sometimes say negatively or with criticism. So you can kind of turn almost all of those into a positive. And the Lincoln letter was especially a good reminder, because oftentimes I will write something down and not send it and look at it again and change it to improve my tone.
Everybody, please write down, I have good words for everybody. I have good words for everybody. John, what if we took that attitude that this is the way I operate? I have good words for everybody. Any bad words, I don't, I just don't pass them to anybody along. I may think them, but I'm not going to pass them along because they don't help me be more successful and happier. Irene, and then Jerry. Irene, what's something good that's happened?
Hi, everybody. Besides, entering new customers and talking to our lovely customers, I'm excited that Black Friday got into our new handbook, because we've been looking at that every year. Are we off the Friday after Thanksgiving? So thank you for putting that in writing now. And I have been very successful getting COVID appointments for our coworkers. I just got a call from one of our coworkers' friends that just asked me to get a COVID vaccine. So if anybody needs help, please reach out to me. Family members, your mechanic, anybody that you see, I'm working on that. I did read the chapter, and criticism creates resentment, yes. And I have always treated my family, I know that the father criticizing the son, I have always treated my family members, as though they were strangers. So if I didn't want to say something to a stranger that was bad, I choose not to say to my family. And I always had this philosophy that I could wake up in a good mood every day and show everybody a good mood, or I could be in a bad mood. And my UPS driver said once, if you tell me that option one more time, I'm going to punch you. But that's the choice. We could either be good and put a smile, which is contagious, or we could be grumpy every day. I did send 6 cards to my shut-ins at my church who have not been able to come out because of COVID. And 3 of the 6 did call me back, because I did put my telephone number on there, because I know they want to talk to me, to tell me thank you. So I did 6 cards this past week.
I love it. I love it. Brian, may I have permission to run over from the top of the hour by 7 minutes? Would that be okay with everybody?
Absolutely.
That'd be all right? Ask permission, because this was a foundational meeting where I wanted to give some of the background, but I want to get to everybody. So Jerry, and then John Shorter. Jerry, what's something good that's happened?
Good morning. So last week I was away, but the prior week to that, it was good to meet some new people that have called in and then now have become our customers. So, we keep expanding and moving forward. I did start to read listened to the book. Very interesting. Caught me off guard. I did not realize what was in it until I heard it. It is catchy, and I plan on listening to it as very well. And I already have a couple people in mind to send a card to. I like that idea. It's one sentence, one phrase, and it works.
Yeah, because it comes from your heart. And by the way, everybody, please write down, audiobooks is somebody else talking to me. Reading is me talking to me. I'm not saying not to do the audio, but don't have it as a substitute. It is not as strong as you reading a page, but the combination is huge. John Shorter and then Anthony. Was something good, John? Okay, is John up there? Okay, Anthony and then Seth.
Hey, good morning. Getting in front of more and more customers and continuing to learn more quality questions to ask to stimulate a positive conversation. Something that resonated with me from the book was one of the airplane technicians made a mistake. So Roosevelt actually, rather than criticize him, put him to work on his own plane. I thought that was very powerful and that resonated with me. And I've got a couple of people in mind to send some cards to as well.
Yeah. And you will begin to get the effect of this when people call you or send you a card in reverse. Watch what's about to happen. It's amazing. Okay, Seth and then David Wald.
Sure. So relatively new with the company, and last week my first sale shipped out. So that was some good news. And as a follow-up, I'm going to send a handwritten note to that customer thanking them. From the Carnegie book, I've read it before and applied pieces of it, but I didn't actually realize that the letter writing and not delivering came from there. That's something I've been doing for 20 years, that, if I'm stressed by something, whatever else, I'll write it all out and then crumble it up and throw it away typically. But it helps.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And David Wald and then Dave DeJohn.
Good morning, everyone. I've got a customer that I followed up with, a new customer last week, just to see, hey, are you happy? Everything good? And he couldn't stop talking about how impressed he was with everything, all interactions with everybody, and especially our service team. And he actually said, I'm going to be talking to other people about, your company and everything, because there's other people that we, do business with that can use your service. So absolutely on that. I've got somebody in mind, another newer customer to send a card out to. That will go out this week, 100%. And unfortunately, I didn't get to pick up the book till about 10 o'clock last night. And I got through the foreword and the prelude and only onto page 1 of the first chapter until I zonked out. But I will say this much. I was impressed by the fact that he died at a young age, because I did Google him after, and, and his wife kind of kept the ball rolling and led the foundation for many years, I guess, until, she was older and everything. So that very much impressed me, that everything's still active today and relative today from years ago.
Absolutely. Everybody, please write down from what David just told me. A third person compliment is very powerful. A third person compliment. I got that from the Carnegie book. So, David, do you think it might be impactful for you to write a handwritten note card to the service people and tell them client so-and-so was complimenting you all the other day?
I do that on a regular basis. But
And
I
a
will
handwritten
do it on
note
a
card?
hand card this time.
Yeah, the handwritten note card, How many of you agree those people will operate much better that day? What? Wait a minute. A client told David about us. David then got a card and emailed it to all of us. Talk about power. It's huge. Dave DeJohn?
Yes. So I've been with Goosetown about a little over 6 years now, coming from a company that, I came from a company and came here, which is a good thing. And I actually have this experience on a weekly basis. Like last week, we had some radios I picked up from parts, gave them to Cleo, and the support team set up some XP5s for me to get out for demos, which made the customers very happy. So it's really just a positive attitude throughout the whole company. Everybody's happy to help each other, and it's amazing compared to where I came from. So every day is like a breath of fresh air. So I'm happy to get up every day because, everybody's there pulling the same direction. It's awesome. I took the Dale Carnegie classes in person probably about 35 years ago.
I did too.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. And going back and rereading a lot of the stuff really reinforces what I learned back then, which has been a major part of my whole experience in sales and things like that. So it's been amazing. And I definitely will send some cards out.
Good, good, good. Did I get to everybody on the call? Did I get to everyone? Okay, Brian, your thoughts on how beautifully people shared today. Wasn't it wonderful?
Unbelievable, Boaz.
Yeah. I'm here to help you all between our meetings. Our next time together is 2 weeks from today on the 20th of April. And your assignment, again, is to tell me something good that's happened and report to me 2 cards, one for each of the 2 weeks. Okay, if you can please do 1 a week. And then we're going to chapter 2 in the Carnegie book, showing genuine appreciation. So please read that chapter, underline something specific that you can tell me. And in between times, I'm here to help you in any way. You will not bother me, you will honor me, because we're all here to work together and change your life and your paycheck for the better. So any questions for anybody? Any questions? How many of you all found this beneficial? To hear people and to see how we're all doing this together. I guarantee you some magic is about to happen here. So everybody please unmute yourself. You may recall I mentioned, as Brian just said, I'll ask you how's business, and I ask everybody with enthusiasm to say unbelievable. Do it with enthusiasm and I go away and you could go about your day. But if you don't, I go on for 3 hours, okay? So
unbelievable.
Thank you. Wait till I see you already. I love it. I love it. Extra Ovaltine right there. So everybody with enthusiasm, I'm just curious. At Goosetown, how's business?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Okay, wait, there was a slight pause. Wait, we have a duck. We have a duck.
It's a goose.
What's the duck? A goose. What's the goose's name?
Donald.
What's a?
Oh, that's a duck.
Yeah. Did you hear about the duck who walked into a bar, ordered a drink, and said, "Put it on my bill"? But anyway, we have all kinds of. I had a dog at one of my seminars the other day. He's got a better attitude. He got a raise the other day. So I work with animals. So one more time, without hesitation, and this will all end well for today. Okay. So everybody, I'm just curious. How's business?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I knew it. I'll see you all in a couple of weeks. I'm here to help you anytime in between. And Brian, get well. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.